My process for this call is really three steps. I'm really just calling to let the folks know that the property did sell. I'm trying to lead them into a question about how much did the property sell for? Because I'm going to try to tee them up to get their information to send them that information when the property does close. So I'm going to try to strategically lay out kind of what happened over the weekend to try to get that response. Well, what did it sell for, right? And so one of the ways I'm going to do that, JD, is I might say something like, well, JD, the property just sold down the street. We were trying to sell it for a couple of weeks. We actually just got it sold over the weekend or just got a contract on it. So I wanted to call around and let all the neighbors know. And then usually, when you kind of just stop it right there, typically if you pause, they're gonna take that pause and they're gonna fill in that void, that silence, right? And they're gonna say, well, JD, how much did it sell for? And we're like, perfect. Well, that's exactly what I wanted JD to say, because this is my opportunity where I can add that value in order to get that piece of contact information that I want to get, right? So I'm going to tee it up by saying, JD, we got the property sold, and then I'm going to stop my communication because I know that's going to prompt JD in that moment of awkward silence to ask me, well, Ryan, what did the property sell for? And at that point, I'm going to say, hey, JD, I'm glad you asked. Listen, it's not closed yet. It closes in about 30 days. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I send you that information when it does close. What's the best email for me to send that to? So I want to make sure that I'm not really asking for anyone's information until I provide some value. And then I'm just simply asking where I'm sending that value that I'm providing for you so generously, right? So let's provide that value to them and then asking for that contact information. So JD, throughout this phone call, my main goal is to try to get some right now business. Now that's like, hey, I could talk to you about, about a little bit about how we got this home sold if this is something that you're looking to do. Or my secondary objective is to, hey, JD, listen, I'd love to stay in touch with you and be a resource for you and let you know about homes that do sell in your neighborhood as we sell them. Why don't we stay in touch, right? So that's kind of my two objectives. What can I do for you right now? Who do you know that I can help? Or can I stay in touch, right? Again, we're going to refer to that as that 3-ask script. So when you hear me telling that or talking about that going down the road, that's what that means. So JD, let's run into it. Let's jump into a script. This is going to be, you're a homeowner in a neighborhood that I just recently sold a home in or got a home under contract. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, my man. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Ryan Taylor with the Taylor Home Group at Keller Williams Realty. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing good. And forgive me, is this JD?
Yes.
Yes, sir. JD, this is Ryan. I think we spoke a couple weeks ago when I was hosting an open house over at 123 Main Street there in your neighborhood. And the reason for my call is I just wanted to kind of call around and let everybody know the good news. We actually got the property under contract over the weekend.
Really? Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a kind of a hot neighborhood, so we had a lot of folks, come to the open house, and one of them was interested enough to write a really good offer. So we got your neighbor's property under contract. So yeah, I was just kind of calling around the neighborhood to let everybody know the good news and see if there's anything that I can do for you or any questions that you had.
Well, the only question that really comes to mind is, how much did you get it for?
Well, JD, that's a great question. I've actually talked to a lot of your neighbors, and that seems to be the main question everybody has. And I could definitely get you that information in about 30 days when that property closes. Before we get off the phone, I'll make sure you have all my information. But why don't I do this? What is the best email for me to send that information to? And when it does close, I'll go ahead and send you over that information and any other property that closes in your neighborhood. Would that be valuable information for you?
You mean you can send me not only the one you're working, but any of the others in the neighborhood too?
Yeah, sure. JD, what's the best email for me to send that to?
It's 123 Banana Street at 123.com.
Awesome. And you're still over there at 444 Main Street, right?
Yes.
Awesome. How long you guys been over there?
We've been here probably 3 years now.
Oh, nice, nice. What are some of the things that you love about the neighborhood? I've talked to a lot of folks, and it seems like just not a lot of people want to move out of there. You guys still love the neighborhood?
Yeah, we love it over here. Probably my favorite thing is, it's a very active neighborhood. So, people outside walking dogs, kids riding bikes, the whole thing.
Yeah, I've heard that. It sounds like a common theme. Everybody loves the family kind of feeling of the neighborhood. Let me ask you, JD, anything that's currently not working about your living situation, or hypothetically anything that you would change if you had that opportunity?
If I could, I'd like to add another bedroom. Me and the wife are thinking about adding to our family. So
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
another bedroom would be nice.
Awesome. How many bedrooms are you in now?
We currently have three.
Currently have three. Okay, perfect. So when the family does start growing, is that three bedroom, is it going to be able to be done, or if we grow anymore, do we have to make that move right away?
Um, I'd say we'd probably make the move right away. Because if we do add one more, it'll probably be the last one. So we want to, make sure we get a good nursery and all the things.
Definitely, definitely. Well, JD, it sounds like next time you make a move, you're really looking for that forever home and something that needs to fit all the boxes. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody's looking for their forever home at the right time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people are settling for less, just the way the market is with limited inventory and things moving the way they do. When they're priced right, they move fast. When they're not priced right, they kind of sit down for a little while. Either way, I think looking for that great opportunity is definitely a great idea. And I think, JD, the people that find those opportunities are usually the people that have all their ducks in a row and have a great plan in place. Let me ask you, would you be totally opposed to me stopping by and getting to know you a little bit more and showing you what your property is worth? That way we can monitor that number over time and see, when it does make sense for you to make a move, we can, not miss out on any opportunities. I do have some availability tomorrow at 4. What do you say I stop by and just, have a quick chat with you about 30 minutes and give you that information?
I mean, I'm probably not moving anytime soon. We're in the early stages of trying to add to this family, so I don't know that I don't want to waste your time.
Yeah, yeah, I get it, JD. And it's never a waste of time. Anytime I can, build on relationships here in the community. That's my main job is just nurturing those relationships. That way, when somebody does need my help, they have somebody. They don't have to kind of look around in the heat of the moment, and um, a mistake on choosing an agent, just because they're choosing somebody really fast. I'd love to just, like I said, come and meet with you, show you what your property values are looking like right now. Like I said, that way we can monitor it, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 years from now, whatever that looks like. We can go ahead and monitor that number. And anytime you have questions, like I said, about properties that sell in your neighborhood, we can dive a little bit deeper and to show you what your property values are doing at any time. That way, if an opportunity does arise, we really have a good idea of what's going on with your finances, and we can choose to or not to move on that opportunity. Does that sound good?
So just kind of like a advisory role.
Yeah, just come by and talk to you, get to know you a little bit, see if it even makes sense for us to work together in the future. And then, like I said, we can kind of monitor the numbers of what your properties are doing, show you what properties are looking like in the areas that you like, and if a property does ever come on the market, in the next couple of years that does fit all your boxes, at least we know what your properties are worth, so you can kind of do those numbers on the fly and see if it makes sense for you to make a move at any given time.
I got you. Yeah, we can do that, but I don't have availability tomorrow. I think I'm free Tuesday though.
Yeah, that's fine. I can definitely put in Tuesday, fill in Tuesday. Let me get on my calendar. What works better for you, usually mornings or evenings?
Well, I work, your typical 9 to 5, so it'd be probably evenings, probably like 5 or 6.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and pinch you in for 6 on Tuesday. That way I got it down. I'll send you a Google Calendar invite to the email that you provided me a few minutes ago. And then what I'll do, like I said, I'll just look at all the property information on your home, come by, check out the property, give you a really good detailed, detailed home evaluation, show you what your properties are worth. That way we'll monitor it, and then you can ask any questions as time goes on. Sound good, JD?
That sounds good to me, man. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate your time, man. Let me ask you before I let you go. And do you know anyone from work or church that's looking to make a move in the next 12 months?
Not off the top of my head, but I will definitely keep my ears to the ground.
All right. Well, I appreciate you thinking about that. We just want to make sure we're taking care of all your friends and family as well. We want to make sure everybody's happy, man. Well, I appreciate your time, JD. I really look forward to meeting you on Tuesday. If you need anything between now and then, this is my direct line. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks, man. All right. Click. That was the script. So tell me, guys, what did you think? What did we do? What are our opportunities? What did we miss? Anybody have any suggestions for us?
Is there a so obviously you ended up setting an appointment, um, even though I used the objection of not right now. Um, what was kind of the what was kind of the trigger to make you want to set the appointment versus just obtaining the contact info?
Yeah, so we always say, you have A, B, and C appointments, right? A appointments are these people that are ready to go right now. B appointments, so maybe they're ready to make a move right now, but they can't get pre-approved. And maybe C appointments, those are people that they have a dream of making a move. They would do it if they could get pre-approved and things were lining up a little bit different, right? So if we don't have A appointments, we're going to go on B appointments. If we don't have B appointments, we're going to go on C appointments. I would say that there's always an opportunity in meeting with somebody, even if they're not going to make a move. Because JD, in that scenario, in that situation, and we all know this, right? Once we go and meet somebody, and we kind of go through this discovery conversation and we sit down with an hour at a consultation, they really don't want to go through that again. Same reason why people usually only get pre-approved with one lender. Once you give all that information to a lender and you go through that process, a lot of times you're kind of wore out and you don't want to go do it again. So a lot of times people are going to work with the first realtor they meet face to face, whether they're ready now or 3 years from now. JD, if you can go ahead and get in front of them now, because JD, me and you can have a great conversation over the phone and a great relationship over the phone for years. And I've done that. I've talked to people and became friends with them, and we've never even met face to face, right? We have a great relationship over the phone, but that will only get you so far. But once you meet somebody face to face, then every phone call after that is so much deeper. Does that make sense? Has everybody kind of had that relationship or felt that way at some point?
I see what you're saying. It's kind of like the scale. You have your social media touch is like way down the list, and then you have a text that's right above that, and a phone call is above that, but nothing beats like a face to face.
Nothing beats a face to face, right? Even if they're not ready, if I can get face to face, shake your hand, have a great conversation with you. Like I always say, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And when you meet somebody face to face, that know, like, and trust goes up a notch from wherever it was before. Once you meet them face to face at a Starbucks, if they know you, like you, and trust you at a 5, once you meet them face to face, that jumps up to a 6. Now, depending on how you act during that face to face, it could go up or down from there. But typically, you're gonna peel back that onion one layer just by meeting face to face, right? So, um,
So it's relationships,
it,
always
it,
relationships.
always relationships. That's our whole business is relationships, and how we strengthen and build these relationships is by building rapport. And the number one way to build rapport is to ask questions, right? So when we're training our agents, all we're doing is training them to ask great questions, because a great question gives you the power to discover. It gives you the power to release that pressure, like we were talking about earlier, JD, out in the hall. That those questions will buy you 15 seconds at a time. And in our world on the phone, where we're talking to people that don't know us, 15 seconds. If I can buy 15 seconds and just capture your attention or ask a great question that's going to prompt you to continue the conversation, then we're winning, right? So sometimes we got to win 15 seconds at a time, right? Ourselves 15 seconds at a time to where we can stay on the phone, and all we're doing is trying to stay on the phone longer to provide more value. Because we can't get what we want until we provide the value. And what do we want? We want a piece of information, maybe an email or an address or a last name, whatever that looks like, right? We're trying to add to our file, or we're trying to get an appointment, a consultation. I want to sit down and meet with you. Whatever that looks like, we can't get that until we add the value, right? And how do we know what value to add until we've asked the great questions, right? So the questions are the key to the relationship, and the relationship is the key to the business. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yep.
Awesome. What else do we have? Any other opportunities? Any other objections you want to hear? or another script that we want to go through. We hit that one pretty fast. We still got about 13 minutes if we want to go over some objections or hit another script. All right, why don't we do this?
It's kind of sad because I really don't know a lot of the scripts, but that's why I'm here.
Yeah, hey, that's why we're here, right? And it's also just, not about the scripts, but also let's dissect the conversation. So when we think about that conversation, let's think back to some of the things we said. So does anybody remember when I said, hey, JD, a lot of your neighbors have said that. I've heard that's a common theme in the neighborhood. It seems like a lot of the people love that it's a very family friendly neighborhood. I've heard that from a lot of your neighbors. So why I said that? So there's always a reason for everything we say here. Again, this is Agent Flow, AM, Convo, Ninja training, right? We are script ninjas, right? So everything we say is for a reason. So what I'm trying to do is let them know that I've talked to many of their neighbors, possibly some of their friends, and maybe family, coworkers, other folks in the neighborhood. And what that's going to do is that's going to take down their aggression a notch, typically, because subconsciously they're thinking, okay, well, Ryan has probably talked to my next door neighbor, and my next door neighbor probably was really polite to him. So I don't want to stand out and be the neighbor that was a jerk, right? So automatically, subconsciously, they're going to say, okay, well, this guy has talked to my peers and my neighbors and some of my friends and family potentially. Maybe I shouldn't act foolish, right? So you're going to you're going to take them down a notch in their aggressiveness, because we all know people can be very aggressive to us when we just call them out of the blue. I get it, right? Nobody wants, like, I'm out there messing with my dogs and somebody calls me and I'm trying to wrangle two 75-pound dogs. I get it. I'm annoyed too, right? So if that person on the other end of the phone is like, hey, I get it, Ryan, you're busy with the dogs, I'm gonna let you go, but I talked to a couple of your neighbors, maybe at that point I'm not going to be so antsy with them, because I know that person has talked to people that I potentially know. Is everybody tracking?
Yeah.
So we've kind of talked about that, right? We've talked about how we these little pattern interruptions and these little ways to kind of flip it on them, right? Like when we say, hey, I've talked to a lot of your neighbors. Everybody seems to love the walking trails. Tell me, what are some of the things that you love about the neighborhood? Now, this does a couple of things. Like I said, it's gonna take down that aggression because we're talking to their friends and family, but it's also going to put them on a place to talk from authority. So people like to talk about things they know about. So when I ask JD, hey, I don't know much about the neighborhood, and I feel like I'm going to have a lot of people come into my open house. What are some of the things that you love about the area that you could tell me that I could share with people, with potential buyers that come into my open house this weekend? And now JD is coming from a place where he's speaking from authority. And now he goes from being in a shell, not wanting to talk to me because this is a sales call. Now he's going to come out of his shell and talk to me, because now he's talking on authority about things he knows about. And people love to talk about themselves, right? They love to talk about how great their neighborhood is, how cool their car is, how awesome their college was, and how that football team is better than any other team. We get it, right? So when we can prompt someone to talk about these things through a great question, and then also let them take the conversation, let them roll with it. And if I can be quiet and let them talk about their life and their neighborhood and their hobbies and goals, and that forward conversation, family, occupation, recreation, dreams, when we can get our clients talking about those things by asking great questions, then that's when we're getting that's when we're getting our discovery, right? We can take down notes, and I know that XYZ is important to Jenny Young, and I know that they're getting ready to go on a vacation, and I'm taking all these notes down, because when I reach back out for my follow-up calls or for my client care calls, whatever that looks like, I want to be able to say, hey, Jenny, yeah, I talked to you a while back when I was selling your neighbor's home. You guys were getting to go to Disney, you're getting ready to go to Disney World. How was it? Right? And I'm talking to you as a friend and as somebody that genuinely cares, genuinely coming from curiosity. And then those relationships start getting better and better and better. And the beauty of it is when we just create as many relationships like that as we can, and then just constantly follow up, then people start making moves, right? And like I said before, they don't want to call 100 different realtors and have 100 different conversations and tell everybody what they're looking for. If they have JD, and JD's already stayed in touch with them, he already has a really good idea of what the property that they're looking for looks like, right? He already has a really good idea about what their equity position looks like. And he's already done a lot of this legwork. It's way easier for the client just to go to JD and say, hey, just finish up the job, rather than just go to me and start all the way over from scratch. And the only difference is I said, hey, look, I'll call you in 2 years when you're ready to move. And the difference is JD said, hey, I know you're not ready to move in 2 years, but I still want to come and say hi to you. Let's go out for a cup of coffee, or let's meet at your house and discuss your property values. Whatever that looks like, JD's going to get that business in 2 years. That other agent is going to be constantly sprinting, trying to get another piece of business.
So it's
So,
back to this. Go ahead.
So when you do make the call regarding the just sold, even if it's the first call of the day, are you still saying, yeah, I've talked to your neighbors?
Yeah, because typically I've talked to the people in the neighborhood, more than once. A lot of times I'm calling the neighborhood that I called 3 months ago, and being 8 years in real estate, I've talked to every neighborhood here in Middle Tennessee. So, now we never want to, just come out with a bald-faced lie, but yeah, we're talking to folks all the time in the neighborhood, and I just want to let them know that you're not the only person I'm talking to. I'm calling everybody. I'm calling all your neighbors. I'm having this conversation with everybody. I'm really just coming from value to let you know, hey, we sold your neighbor's home. I wanted to let you know about it because you live here. Anytime I'm making just listed or just sold calls or door knocking around an open house, I always treat it like, JD, you live there. You're the king of the jungle. I'm coming into your territory. So I'm going to bow down. I'm going to say, hey, JD, just want to let you know this weekend I'm going to be in your neighborhood doing an open house. I wanted to let you know about it first because you live in the area. So if you see some extra traffic and balloons around, you know what's going on. By the way, who do you know that's looking to maybe move to the neighborhood? Because like I said, you live there and you have an invested interest. I want you to be able to choose your neighbor first, right? I'm going to approach it like that. So basically what I'm saying is, JD, I'm selling a house in your territory. I'm coming in and I'm bowing down to you, and I'm saying, I respect you, and I want to let you know about it first because this is your area and you should decide who lives here. And now when I bring that to somebody, now they feel like, oh, now their chest pumps out. Oh yeah, thanks, Ryan. Yeah. Well, I'm the king of the jungle and I don't know anybody right now, but thanks for bringing it to my attention, right? You automatically kind of get that little underlying respect, right? So that's how I approach it, whether it's a just listed, just sold. I just, hey, listen, I'm just calling out around to everybody in the neighborhood, let them know, here's what I'm doing. As a courtesy to you, I like to say words like that, But yeah, I'm going to tell them, hey, even if it's the first call, hey, listen, or I might say, maybe it's the first call and it sounds funny to you, then just switch it up. That's why we're script ninjas, okay, JD? Hey, listen, JD, this first call of the day, I anticipate talking to a lot of your neighbors today. What do you love most about the property, right? You can switch these words in the way you say it to get the same effect. So what I'm trying to say is, don't slow down. Don't get in your own head about whether it's the first call and you haven't had that conversation yet this morning. You've had that conversation. You're going to have it 3 calls later, whatever that looks like. You're going to be talking to some of the neighbors today, whether it's 2 minutes ago or 2 minutes from now. It's still the truth, right? Again, we're just talking about the framework of the conversation. All this is, and we I know we put a lot into it with a lot of the scripts, but really let's just simplify it down to the framework. We're calling somebody and we're simply letting them know what we're doing as an opportunity to open the door to ask 3 questions. That's all it is. Hey, JD, is there anything that I can do for you right now in real estate? AKA any changes you would make? Hypothetically, if you made a move, would you move to the beach or the mountains? Right? It doesn't even have to be a real conversation. You could shut me down all the way and I could still turn it around like this and just say, hey, JD, I get it. You're never going to make a move. You told me 3 times that you're going to die in that house and you're never going to make a move. But hypothetically, if you did make a move, would you move to the beach or the mountains? Are you a fisher or a hunter? Right? We could still continue these conversations if we want to. right? We just need to know what questions to ask and when to ask, right?
It's about
But
getting people to dream a little.
it is, man. And really what it's just about is just to get people to talk. If you can just get somebody to start talking, you know, um, again, I go back to the jeans store analogy. You walk into the Gap. You have two kinds of salespeople. One is going to get somebody talking, and one is going to not. Salesperson A, and this is who we all know. You walk into the Gap, and they say, "Hey, sir, how you doing? Can I help you find something?" And I walk in, and what do I say? What does everybody
No,
say?
just looking.
No, just looking. I knew you were going to say that, right? That's how confident I was. No, I'm just looking. And what's every salesperson say? Okay, let me know if I can help you,
Yep.
right? And then they go back to Twitter. All right, let me know if I can help you. Okay. Well, what a pro does is, hey, welcome to the Gap. What can can I help you? No, I'm just looking. Okay, well, are you looking for church or school, work or play? What are we looking for? Right? Ask a question. It just comes down to one question. Okay, let me know if I can help you. Or okay, are you looking for work or church? Are we looking for dress or play? Are we looking for work? Do we need something that's breathable? Right? Start asking questions, right? And now all of a sudden they're going to start answering questions. And they say, oh, well, actually, it's not for work or play. It's for a bachelor party, man. We got to all have matching white jeans. Oh, that's fun. Where are you guys going? And then boom, you're off to the races, right? We're building rapport. We're letting them talk about their family, recreation, occupation, and dreams, and all those things. And with this framework, we can craft this conversation, go wherever we want it, right? So, guys, that's our time. We're going to go ahead and jump off unless anybody has any last parting words for us. I appreciate you guys so much for playing all in. I look forward to many more of these. Guys, share the script practice link with anybody that you think could benefit from this. We're looking to fire this thing up. We're going to have Abraham, JD, Jenny. You guys are all going to be rolling your scripts out soon. We can't wait to hear from everybody on the link. So please let us know what we can do to get better. And if there's any scripts or objections that you want to hear at any time, you can always text me or shoot them over to me anytime before we start. Okay.
I love it. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you guys. You have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Abe.